So this is 5 superstars I think need a push in 2026. Some of these are already in the main event now. Some of them are going to want titles, and some just need the push and a big feud to get to the next level, in my opinion. So let's get into it. So the first superstar I think needs a push is Solo Sikoa. Now, he completely reinvented himself after the feud with Roman and being the tribal chief. He's now had this more funny side to his character, what I'm loving. I know everyone online's love him. He's so good in the ring. You know, he had the US title run. The only thing about Solo that's quite iffy at the moment is the MFT story. Now, I think that is going to work out in the end, and I think they're being pushed in the right way. I do feel the MFTs need gold sooner rather than later to actually make it justified, and Solo being the head of that kind of fits everything perfectly. You know, speaking on the MFTs, if they get the tag titles, if Tama Tonga gets the US title, I think that sets them up for a massive year. And I think Solo can get into so many big feuds. You know, I'm quite excited to see him feud with the Wyatt Six. I want to see a Solo match against Uncle Howdy. Now, I think that'd be quite fun. Bo Dallas is very good in the ring. Solo is amazing in the ring, in my opinion. So I feel that could be really fun. But I wouldn't also hate to see Solo in the main event scene after the WWE title. Now, going after Cody or whoever is the champion would be good. Now, my thought is, if Drew McIntyre wins that title, it makes it even better a feud for Solo to go after, because they teased the feud between Solo and Drew at the start of this year, I believe, or the end of last year. So that is the first star I believe needs a big push in 2026. The second star I believe should get a push is Logan Paul. Now, I know people dislike Logan Paul. He's not the best person outside of the ring at times, but I think his persona has changed. But in the ring, he is amazing. You know, he should never be as good of a wrestler as he is. It is ridiculous how much he has done, how good he is for how little time he's spent in the WWE. You know, I would love to see him in the world title scene. You know, it's going to happen. I'm on board with it now. His character's good. He's a massive heel. And I just think there are no words to describe how good he is in the ring. I think he's proved that time and time again. And he's just a big draw for the WWE. And I know it's a controversial opinion, but I wouldn't mind him winning a world title. Only for a short reign, you know, to elevate it outside of the ring and bring in more fans to WWE, because that can't hurt the business. So, in my opinion, Logan Paul needs to be in the main event scene and looking at a world title late 2026, in my opinion. Third one is Lyra Valkyria. Now, I don't know what she needs to do to get into that main event scene. She had the amazing feud with Becky Lynch. Her and Bayley now are just rotting in the tag division, not getting any TV time, not getting any matches, it feels like. But Lyra is just so good, you know. Her working with Bayley week in, week out can't hurt her, because it's just going to make her even better. But Lyra needs to be in and around that scene. I'd love to see her win the title, you know, late 2026. But I think she needs to be in and around it at least, because, my God, she's so talented. You know, she got a lot of fans behind her during her IC title reign. And yeah, just Lyra needs to be in that division because she's so talented again. And she's young. She's able to take that division to new heights. You know, she'll be a mainstay there. And just keep growing the youth in the whole WWE is one other thing that they need to do. I think, you know, you can put Lyra in a feud with Bayley with the world title. That'd be quite fun. You know, you can have a feud, I don't know, with Tiffany Stratton. That would be a banger match. Even going up against a Charlotte Flair just for experience. But yeah, there's so many fun things you could do with Lyra Valkyria. The sky is the limit for her. So on to the next. The next for me is a quite obvious one, and it is Jacob Fatu. You know, he should be back potentially by the Rumble from his injury. And I just love to see him. You know, they teased him in the world title scene. He was in the mid-card for a while, and he quickly outgrew that. He is such a talent, you know, so good in the ring. Again, the aura he brings to his matches is quite spectacular. So yeah, Jacob Fatu needs to be in that world title scene. You know, there's so many fun feuds you can do with him again. And I think the WWE in general need to explore more unique and fun feuds, because that's just where the entertainment is, and I think that's what it's been lacking. But yeah, Jacob, you know, he was with Solo for a while. He just needs that push, and I think he would be a good Money in the Bank winner this year. And I think that's the way they're going to do it. So, on to the next. The final person slash faction I feel needs pushing is the American-made faction with Chad Gable. Now, Chad Gable should have won the IC title a long time ago. Now, I think this year he should win it. I would like to see him kind of steer away from the El Grande Americano gimmick. I think that's kind of sitting with Kaiser perfectly at the minute, and I think they're gonna do a El Grande versus El Grande when Chad comes back, 1-4. But seeing Chad Gable in the upper mid card would be nice again, especially just having him go after that IC title that he deserves. And with the Creeds, I think they are very, very good, and I'd like to see them win tag gold. They've not been on TV for a while. Yeah. And Ivy Nile, she's improved so much in the ring as well. I'd like to see her win the IC title at some point. Now, I'm not saying the whole faction has to hold all the gold at once, but I'd like to see all the members in the factions in the respective divisions go after the gold at some point and hold it, if not be very close to it, because that's the point of them. And you know, I'd like to see the Creeds. They're very talented. Again, Ivy has improved significantly, and Chad Gable is just Chad Gable. You know, he's always been very, very good in the ring, and he should have that rub. So that has been the 5 stars I think should be pushed this year. Let me know down below who you think should get a push, and if you agree or disagree with any of mine. So if you can like, comment, share, that'd be brilliant. It's been Ben Mears TV. Peace.